My name is Jamin Goecker. I'm a realtor servicing South Central Alaska, and my mission is to help you to build an intentional and significant legacy for yourself and your family by coaching you in real estate. And the purpose of today's video is to give you an idea for what things you should be looking for as you're looking to hire a real estate agent. If you've ever hired anyone before, either as an employee or a contractor, you know how important it is to make sure you get that hire right, because it can really make or break you for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So we'll talk about that and kind of give you some questions you can ask whoever it is that you're interviewing. Before we get started though, you know what to do. Make sure you give this video a like, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. And without further ado, let's go and jump into the video today talking about what you should be looking for when you're interviewing real estate agents. First thing I want to point out is there's actually a pretty big difference between what's needed from a buyer agent and what's needed from a listing agent. Now, there's going to be some good overlap, but there's definitely going to be some personality differences where one type of person is going to be better suited to the other. So number one, on the buyer agent side, usually these folks are going to be a little bit more junior in their career. Not always, okay? Not always. But usually if you have somebody newer in the industry, they kind of gravitate more towards the buyer agent side of things. And they're going to be very warm. They're usually going to be very outgoing. They're going to be pretty agreeable, and they're going to know a lot about the market and the inventory because they're out and about and showing houses so much. So all great stuff, all great stuff. They're also going to have the ability to analyze properties pretty quick, and they're going to have the ability to really kind of put you at ease and really kind of explain things in a way that makes sense and that isn't going to sound frightening, okay? Because a lot of this stuff isn't, as long as it's really explained. And also look out for your best interests throughout the transaction and really make sure your best interests are put front and center, as it should be. Now with a listing agent, it's a little bit different because they are hired for their market knowledge and for their marketing knowledge as well. So they need to know what's selling, what isn't selling, how many days on market, what's the price we need to put on this property, and then how are we going to market this property. And usually for folks that are listing properties, they're going to be a little bit more senior. They've got a couple of years under their belt. They are confident. They know the market really, really well. And they can give you a good answer at any time on not just what's going on in the market in general, but hey, what part of the market are we talking about here? Okay, those are the kind of questions they're going to send right back at you. So these folks are awesome because they are usually very analytical, which makes sense because they have to know the market really well. And then also they're going to have a certain style of marketing that they can walk you through as well. So these are going to be kind of the differences you're going to see between buyer agent and seller agents. There's definitely some great overlap, and kind of the heart of either one of them is to serve your best interests and make sure that you're looked out for. On the listing side, usually these folks are going to be a little bit more assertive in their communication style because sometimes they have to have really difficult conversations with people. And, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're coming at it from a lot of strength and a lot of confidence from years of selling real estate. So those are going to be the two kinds of realtors. Obviously, you kind of have some overlap, but kind of depending on what you're looking for, just make sure you're shopping accordingly. Now, beyond that, the first thing I would say for either one of these agents is to really pay attention when the agent is talking about other agents or other realtors in the market. If they sound really confrontational and really just combative and, oh, I'm going to go just give it to everybody and I'm going to make sure I'm the person who's going to just go fight for you against everybody else, big red flag. And you need to pay attention to that. And here's why. For the people who have been around for a while, they have got great relationships and great rapport and a lot of respect from other people in the industry because they know, hey, I'm just going to use Cora Carlson, for instance. Okay, I do a deal with Cora. I know, hey, she's got her stuff done on time. She's respectful, and she is going to know exactly, where her clients are. And I'm not going to have to go looking for her if something hits the fan, and we're going to work through it together to come to a solution for both parties. That's really kind of the heart and mentality you're looking for. If you have somebody that's got a really combative approach, bad sign, because chances are they have created a world for themselves in which everybody is the enemy and they are constantly just battling it out with everybody, and they're going to drag you into that world, and it's going to feel really dramatic and really stressful. So be careful of people who sound overly combative just from your conversations with them and how they describe other people in the industry. Let's take a quick break here. For those of you who've been watching for a little bit, you'll know I have a seller guide, and it does kind of walk you through the basic things that you need to be doing in order to get your home sold and what goes into selling your home exactly, down to like the costs, the factors for getting the home value for your property, and then what each step of the process entails in detail. If this is something that would benefit you, don't hesitate to reach out to me either through my website or Facebook or Instagram down below, and be happy to send that over to you if it would be of service to you. Now let's go and finish today's video. Now the next thing that I would want to know if I was interviewing a real estate agent or a realtor is really just kind of test them a little bit and see what their market knowledge is. If you ask them, hey, how's the market doing? Like the slowest slow pitch you can give them, and they're waffling on that one and they're not really sure, and they're kind of just all over the place, then that's not a good sign. Okay, you need somebody that's a professional that really knows what they're doing in order to look out for your best interests. Another thing I would want to know if I was hiring somebody for the job of being my realtor is just how many years have they been in the industry? Now, let's not get this twisted here. You do have a lot of great newer realtors who are really on top of it, and they are hungry and they've got the heart for it, and they know their stuff, and holy cows, they can make it happen. You know, just absolutely awesome people. And then you have some other folks that are kind of, you know, cattle in a china shop, and that can be a little stressful for everybody involved. Okay. That being said, though, the number of years that someone's been in the industry isn't the only factor you should be looking at, because I know some folks who have been in the industry for years and years and years, like decades, and I'm still having to coach them through on how to do stuff. You know, that just is what it is. Unfortunately, in this industry, like the top 20% produce like 80% overall for the number of homes that are sold. So if you are in that top 20%, you're going to get a lot of experience very quickly. And if you're only like the majority and you've been in for like 20 years or something like that, but you only sell 2 or 3 homes a year, then you're not going to have a whole lot of experience there. So don't fall into that trap of hiring someone just because they've been in it for a while. Dig a little deeper. Hey, how many homes have you sold recently? Because that's a good revealing question. Final thing that I would look at is know, hey, how much support staff do you have? And this can be anywhere from a big mega team where literally they are just one part of this huge machine that makes it happen, or you can be kind of a smaller operation. You've got 1 or 2 people with you just helping to facilitate stuff. Either one is fine. You have kind of some folks who really like doing all their own paperwork and like doing all this other stuff behind the scenes. Me personally, I like having a support staff with me so I can really focus on the important stuff that's going to help you to get your home sold, which is me marketing it and me showing your home. And then if you're looking to buy something, showing you homes and writing contracts, and I'll let somebody else take care of pushing paperwork. I'm going to know everything that's going on, and I'm going to be able to direct people, but you don't want to get tied up in those details though. All important needs to be done. Doesn't necessarily have to be done by the person. So you need to make sure you have someone who has that support staff so they're not getting overwhelmed, taking care of a lot of stuff that they should be delegating out to other people. So I sure hope this has been useful for you. It gives you some food for thought. If it has been helpful, do make sure you give this video a like. If you have any other questions, do reach out to me on my website or through Facebook, Instagram, all those good stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.